Our expectations are obviously to always get better. We were 1-9 last year. I was the offense coordinator last year, so got a good idea of the landscape of the RMAC, the competitiveness of the other teams, and just tried to fill, some of our weaknesses and, fix those issues. And I think we did a really good job recruiting and had some big, D1 transfers that are going to come in and get some maturity and some leadership and some guys that know how to win and teach these guys how to win. And when things get bad, to help, you can get through it and not just fold the tent, that type of deal. And, everybody talks about culture and trying to make those things prevalent and, show on the field for us.
So last year the offense struggled lower half of the conference in a lot of passing statistics. You guys had a lot of injuries at quarterback.
Yeah.
You're not only an offensive coach, but I think I read that you also had a background as a quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, I was the QC quarterbacks coach at Nevada. I went there with Matt Mumme, which is Hal Mumme's son, with the air raid offense, and helped them install that offense. I am an air raid guy, but at the end of the day, you got to do what fits your team and your personnel. And so, and for quarterbacks, it's tough to bring in a new offense and expect it to be successful. It does take some time for them to understand it and hopefully understand as well as I do. And our quarterbacks over this last spring did a good job of, all of them kind of came up to us and said we're starting to figure it out, and putting them in better situations, obviously not on them, it's on us. We take full responsibility on, the lack of production that we had, but we put the people in the right places and, hopefully try to simplify it and do things a little bit better, and more production would be great.
All right, first year as a coach, what kind of culture are you trying to build both in the short term this year and in the long term as well?
Yeah, I think my personal philosophy on culture is, getting the respect out of the players. A lot of coaches and people outside of coaching think it's a lot of screaming and yelling, but for me it's a lot more conversations and getting to know the players and understanding what makes them tick. We have 3 core values, which is trust, respect, and extreme ownership, and it kind of encompasses everything as a person and outside of football. Just understanding that anything that happens to us or anything that happens to you and the way it affects you is really up to you on how you take it. So if something bad happens, you could take it bad and go in the tank. Something good happens, you could jump for joy and lose sight of what our goal is. So those 3 pillars are kind of what we're building upon and the foundation of what we want to start. And hopefully, I think everybody's bought in. Change is always good when things are bad, right? So I think, we're moving in the right direction, and I think, the sky's the limit.
All right, so you've got 2 of your seniors here that we just talked to.
Right.
How is their kind of senior leadership, their familiarity with the program? How has that helped you kind of get a feel, kind of get that respect
right.
in your first year?
Right. I brought 4 student athletes here that are all from this area. They've been here from the beginning to the end, so they're not JC transfers, which we wanted to try to do a better job of recruiting high school kids and building them up. But for them, they've seen it all. There's a little football for us. They've seen it all. They've seen a lot of different coaches. They've seen a lot of turnover. And I think my biggest goal is just to give them structure. And, I listen to the players. I do a good job of trying to hear them and decipher what's good and what's bad and try to, all of us get on the same page. And 1-9 is a tough season, and players, they're kids. I was there. We've all been there. It's a tough place to be. But, they see the potential, they see what we're doing, and I think it's going to be a successful season for us.
So first season, what is a successful season going to look like to you, both on and off the field?
Yeah, on the field, I would like to say our over-under is probably about 4.5 if I was Vegas. At the end of the day, it's football. It's why it's why I love this game. Anybody can go out and you could beat anybody, really. If everybody's focused and doing what they're supposed to do and doing their job, you can beat the big guys that are in the conference. So, you know, I think we just got to make it simple, and you know, I think we could win 6 or 7. We could not win any. You know what I mean? So, bearing any injuries, and you know, hopefully I am who I think I am, and the structure and the foundation that I'm, you know, implementing, I think just trying to do it the right way. Outside of football, you know, I tell these guys all the time, you know, if you want to get to where you want to be, where you're at is you have to, perception is reality, right? So they have to, wherever we're at right now, they have to think that it's the best place in the world. And if they don't think that, then we won't get to where we want to be. So there's a lot of life lessons in football, and you know, that's just kind of where we're at.